But I'm optimistic that there will be a deal mid-February. First of all, the UK government to have to convince UK voters that the deal is a good one.
And that is the question. Some in his own party say this is the outline of a bad deal for Britain. Mr Cameron appears on the path to having something that he thinks is good enough to sell the EU back to the British people. Faisal Islam, Sky News, in Brussels.
The leader of a Maoist cult who beat and controlled and terrorised his followers includes the 75-year-old known as Comrade Bala, kept them isolated from the outside world for 3 decades. His daughter and her delight at being free, yet his wife and another follower continue to defend his actions. A warning that this report from Social Affairs editor Afua Hirsch does contain flash photography.
A housebound demigod and dictator, sentencing cult leader Aravindan Balakrishnan to 23 years in jail. A judge described the effect of decades of rape, assault, false imprisonment and child cruelty on the women under his control. Till the end, she said, he showed arrogance and contempt for his victims. His wife and one remaining supporter still protest his innocence.
This is a cruel miscarriage of justice. It's a cruel, totally unjustified, and he's innocent of the lies.
His daughter, Katie Morgan Davies, knows the full force of his cruelty. His treatment of her, the court said, was a catalogue of mental and physical abuse.
I was kept in the house all the time and I wasn't allowed to go out, so I didn't know anything else.
She was kept in captivity for 3 decades. Her father's group, once based on Maoist ideology, soon became characterised by violence and fear.
It was not so much Marxist and Maoist as a cult of Bala as a person. So he took what he thought suited him from that ideology as well as from other things to promote himself, because he's basically a narcissistic psychopath, really, and just wants everybody to worship him and do as he says without question. And he was obsessed about controlling other people. He loved violence and those totalitarian dictatorships and things. He really loved that, because I think he wanted to be like that. He wanted to be like Stalin or Mao or Pol Pot, where everybody just listens to him, and if they don't, then he can kill them with impunity. I mean, when I was a child, I was taught that he knows everything, he's God, he's the ruler of the universe, and everything he says is correct. I used to have to sing songs in praise of him, and I used to have to spend about 2 hours in the morning writing.
Shut away in a bedroom for 30 years, her isolation was extreme, kept even from knowing that one of the people she lived with was her mother. She later learned it was Sian Davies, who died in 1997 after falling from an open window.
As is in many cults, family relationships and that sort of thing is not encouraged because it's seen as detrimental to following the cult leader. So because she was my mum,